We did have a lot of airdrop seasons that had happened in the past, and people love to click on links, myself included. But at the same time, I think that this story is important to bring up because a Uniswap user lost approximately $8 million worth of Ethereum in a phishing attack. So basically what the attacker did is they went ahead and they enticed users with a fake Uniswap airdrop message. And after you interact with the phishing message, it gave the underlying smart contract permission to transfer assets out and gain full control of a user's wallet. These funds from this particular attack have been sent to Tornado Cash, and they're probably gone now. And I also actually saw the story break when CZ tweeted about it. And I do prefer bear market CZ's tweeting over bull market CZ's tweeting. It's a lot more insightful. But I think that this story is a good story to talk about, probably different OPSEC tactics that we all use, or things just to kind of remember so people don't get wrecked.
Yeah, and one thing to point out, and Will, you might be able to correct me here if I get anything wrong, but my takeaway from our write-up was that this didn't involve just an email phishing attempt. Somebody actually airdropped tokens directly into people's wallets that were part of the scam. And just on an OPSEC level, that's a basic thing to be aware of, is that you don't have to give anybody permission to put something in your crypto wallet any more than you have to give them permission to email you. So the fact that something shows up in your wallet doesn't mean that it's legitimate. And I don't know the details, but there was at least mention that the phishing site was embedded in the code of the tokens that were dropped. So as people went to try and figure out what had suddenly appeared in their wallets, they might have then followed that lead to get phished on what was set up as a basically fake copy of the Uniswap front end. So that's just my one OPSEC point, is just because it showed up in your wallet doesn't mean that it's legitimate or an asset, or that you should start, clicking on links contained there any more than you would an email.
Yeah, I'll snag it really quick. This is interesting. I came across that as well after CZ tweeted about it. He said that there was something underlying wrong with the Uniswap v3 contract, which actually freaked out a lot of people because that's a much bigger deal than one phishing scam out there. Phishing scams happen all the time. They're very unfortunate, and it sucks to lose a lot of money, let alone $8 million. But Uniswap v3 going down would just be, that would be the other shoe people have been waiting to drop, and that would really, really hurt the entire market. Obviously very unlikely due to all the coding and work that goes into these projects before they go live. But that would be on a whole different level of sophistication, a whole different level of devastation for the entire ecosystem than just a phishing attack here. For this attack, and I will note that CZ also followed up on his first tweet, correcting himself and saying it was just a phishing scam. It's interesting to see these scams come around. They always take on a different form, but they always have the end result of being the same, which is you lose money. So be careful what you click on. And it does bring you back to what are the fundamentals of a smart contract, right? It's basically just computer code that executes movement of money on your behalf. And there's a lot of different signing devices. You have to use your keys that are located within your crypto wallet in order to move that money. But there's very sophisticated ways to hide that and make it happen in a way that you wouldn't expect it to happen. And then all of a sudden you've signed your keys over to someone else and your money is gone. We've seen this a lot with NFTs, And so it's not surprising to see this take on another shape. And I expect these just to get more frightening, and like they're going to happen more often, just more creative ways, as like the basic ones seem to be known by most people. This is just something that's going to continue happening going forward. Dave, I'll throw it up to you.
Yeah, so one other point on the OPSEC element here is that the money that was stolen was not from like a software wallet. It wasn't, the keys were not just sitting on somebody's desktop that got hacked or something. This was money that was actually staked to Uniswap. It was wrapped Bitcoin, and I guess I don't know what exactly to say about that, other than that there is fundamentally a somewhat higher risk when you're staking, when you're putting stuff on, especially if it's bridged. There's like a whole other layer of risk there. So I guess like the more active stuff you're doing with your funds on chain or on public systems, I mean, just understand that there is some degree of risk. Whereas if you took that Ether and put it in a cold wallet and put it in your safe at home, the chances of somebody being able to move that are much, much slimmer. And I think there are some good products out there that can protect people who are doing staking stuff. But just, understand that the risk, just like investing your money anywhere, there is some degree of risk. So that kind of just understand that part of the picture, I guess, would be my advice to people.